Hey babies, welcome back to another Deck Tech and Modern League, and have I got a weird one for you today. Today we're playing Oops, All Spells. The deck list we're playing with is on screen now and in the description below. It's under $400 to build this in paper and under 200 ticks on Magic Online, so as far as modern decks go, it's pretty affordable. And the main gimmick to make note of right now is instead of playing any actual lands, we're just playing MDFCs, which don't count as lands in our library, in our hand, or in any other zone. So let's get into the deck tech. Our 10 I Win the Game cards are 4 Balustrade Spy, 4 Undercity Informer, and 2 Goblin Charbelcher. Balustrade Spy and Undercity Informer essentially do the same thing for us, where we point their abilities at ourselves to deck ourselves, and then continue to combo off from there. And the 2 Goblin Charbelchers cost a little bit more mana to actually win the game with, but it's essentially a 4 mana artifact that says 3 mana tap, you win the game, because it's always going to be doming our opponent for somewhere in the range of 40 to 50 damage. The first things that happen when we deck ourselves are Creeping Chill and Narcomoeba triggers. The Creeping Chills are going to soften up our opponent's life total, dealing up to 12 damage to them, and it's essential that we get at least 1 Narcomoeba to enter the battlefield to continue the combo. When our Narcomoeba enters the battlefield, 3 Sword of the Meek see it, which all return from our graveyard to our battlefield. After that, we're going to exile 3 artifacts from our graveyard to return Salvage Titan to our hand, and then we're going to cast it for free by sacrificing the 3 Sword of the Meeks, which happens to be our second creature spell cast this turn, so we're going to get back all of our Vengevines and usually be able to swing for lethal from there. If we don't have lethal damage quite yet, we can use Memory's Journey to either buy us time or to just put Thassa's Oracle on top of our library and win the game that way next turn. We can use our Phantasmagorian to discard any of the Sword of the Meeks or Vengevines that we accidentally drew before we comboed off, and we have 2 copies of Jack-o'-lantern, which is going to allow us to fix our mana to do the Thassa's Oracle backup plan if we don't already have that online. In order to ramp up to 4 mana for a turn 3 win, we have 4 copies of Pentad Prism, 4 copies of Talisman of Hierarchy, and 1 Sphere of the Suns. In the place of our lands, we're playing 4 Agadeem's Awakening, 4 Miria's Call, and 4 Seagate Restoration. 4 Turntimber Symbiosis, only 3 Shatterskull Smashing because red is the least useful color to us, and 3 Hagra Mauling. In our sideboard, we have 4 Pact of Negations to help us fight through counters, 4 Prismatic Endings to help us deal with problematic permanents, and 2 Silences, which are good against counters and also randomly good against Cascade decks. 4 Leyline of Sanctity to protect us against Thoughtseize effects, and 1 more Goblin Charbelcher as a hedge if our opponent's playing a lot of Graveyard Hate. And that's the deck tech. I've had a lot of fun playing this deck. It's really easy to grind on Moto with it too, which is really nice because the matches are so fast. And you get to play with cards like Phantasmagorian. Like, when do you get to play that card in Modern? Alright, let's get into the matches. Alright, round 1. We're playing some Oops All Spells in Modern. We won the die roll, so we will be pretty happy about that. Alright, we don't have a real win con other than Charbelcher here, so let's take a mulligan. We have a bunch of win cons, but we don't have any ramp. Usually I'd mulligan again for a piece of ramp so I can try to go on turn 3, but we're on the play and we have a lot of backup win conditions. We'd still like to draw a mana rock to play on turn 2, hopefully, but like, we could fight through counter spells or discard pretty well here. I think I'll keep this. Get rid of one of the Undercity Informers. Play the Undercrypt tapped. Pass the turn. Probably gonna play Shatterskull Smashing next turn to play around Inquisition on our lands. Other than that, the red one is the most useless. The white ones aren't really useful game 1, but they're really good game 2 because we bring in a bunch of white sideboard cards usually. But the black is the one that we actually use the most, and occasionally we'll use green or blue if we're doing the Thassa's Oracle plan. Other than that, the other colors are pretty much just for Pentad Prism. Opponent plays Stitcher's Supplier, so it looks like it's probably the Mardu Reanimator deck. Maliki Rebirth, and some lands. Okay. Mana Rock. Nope. Phantasmagorian. Let's play Shatterskull Smashing, tapped, pass the turn. So we're still looking for a 4th mana source. Earliest we can win now is on turn 4. We're never ever going to pop our opponent's Stitcher Supplier, so it's going to be able to hit us for a little bit. We draw Creeping Chill, don't really care to draw that. Just going to play this tapped instead of playing Undercity Informer. Pass the turn. They could pretty easily have a bunch of discard effects suddenly if they're playing Griefs, since they're playing Maliki Rebirth and presumably Ephemerates in their deck. So I'd rather hold on to all the combo pieces rather than run them into Furies and other removal that they are pretty much just guaranteed to have in their hand at this point. Opponent hits us for 1 again, that's fine. We draw a land, please. It's a slow land. That can win us the game next turn, so we'll take it. Not happy that I drew Phantasmagorian. That's the main one that you don't want to draw, but we will see. We need to dodge drawing Sword of the Meek, because otherwise we can get delayed yet again. Because usually you need to use the Phantasmagorians to discard Sword of the Meeks and Vengevines. Opponent plays a land, plays Priest of Fellrights, that's fine, doesn't do anything this turn. So we just need to dodge drawing a Garnet. We draw Charbelcher, okay. Time to go for it. Let's play Balustrade Spy. Target us. Okay. Get a bunch of triggers, 3 Creeping Chills, 2 Narcomoebas. Put them on the stack. Okay. Waiting on my opponent. Opponent either has interaction or is just trying to figure out what's going on. Hopefully it's just trying to figure out what's going on. I'd rather them not interact if I have the option. What's the worst thing they could have right here? They could have like removal for a creature, but we don't really care about that. Yes, use Creeping Chill. Okay. Yes, use Creeping Chill. Okay. Okay, opponent concedes. Sweet. Easy peasy. Alright, so we're going to bring in Ley Lines and maybe a couple Pinted Prisms. Not Pinted Prisms. Prismatic Ends. There's a lot of prisms in this deck. So definitely Ley Lines. And probably a couple of these. Let's see what we take out. Let's take out a Jack-o'-lantern, a Creeping Chill, a Shatter Skull Smashing, Usually I cut one of the Hagra Maulings, but they could bring in Dothy Voidwalker, and we don't want to deal with that if we have the option. So I think I cut the other Smashing instead. So I could bring in a pair of Prismatic Ends. We already have a couple Belchers in case they have appropriate Graveyard Hate, and we have Hagra Mauling in case their Graveyard Hate is a creature. I think I'm just going to run it like this. See if our opponent has something appropriate to deal with us. If so, we can bring in Prismatic in the next game. And if not, we can just combo as planned. This hand doesn't even care about... This hand wins on turn 4, has a leyline, and does not care about graveyard interaction, so I think I'm just going to keep it. Usually I don't like keeping Belcher hands on 7, but it seems very reasonable here, and I mean, I guess they could have brought in Artifact Destruction, but we didn't actually play a Mana Rock last game, so they might not think it's very important. We'll keep. The leyline by itself is just very nice here. And we have a Mana Rock, so randomly if we draw one of the Balustrade Spy effects, we can win on turn 3. If not, we can just play Belcher on turn 3 and then hopefully untap with it and dome our opponent for somewhere in the range of 40 to 50 damage. Which seems completely reasonable to me. Opponent plays Leyline of the Void. We play Leyline of Sanctity. I'm glad that we're on a Belcher plan. Alright, so Leyline of the Void makes me think that I need to bring in the other Char Belcher as well. We draw a Leyline of Sanctity, not very exciting. Let's play... Do I want to play out the Jack-o'-lantern? Let's just play the land tapped, conserve life total a little bit. I'm probably going to bolt myself with my lands for the next 2 turns, so I'd rather not deal extra damage to myself in case they can race us. Opponent plays a Plains, plays. Taps, untaps, taps. Plays Priest of Fellrights. Okay. We draw Balustrade Spy, not particularly useful right now. So I can either play Sphere of the Suns or Jack-o'-lantern here. What's the worst thing that can reanimate? Is it worth playing behind the curve for a turn to play Jack-o'-lantern? They have 3 cards in hand. They haven't shown us that they have a way to discard yet. Either way, we're shocking this land in. We're bolting ourselves with the land. I'm leaning towards playing it safe. I think the way we lose this game is our opponent reanimating something that we don't expect. Because I think other than that, turn 4 and turn 5 isn't going to make a big difference for Belcher for us. Pass the turn. Like, Archon of Cruelty can't target us because of Leyline, but it's still just a big beat stick. And I'd rather that not be online if I have the option. Opponent hits us for 2. Cool, cool. We draw Memory's Journey. Play Sphere of the Suns. Bolt ourselves with our land, pass the turn, leaving up Jack-o'-lantern. Opponent plays Prismatic Ending on Sphere of Suns. Okay. We can't stop that. So we need another mana source so we can play Belcher. We untap. We draw Miria's Call. All right. We're going to be shields down to them reanimating something, but I think we just have to try to go for it now. I doubt that they're going to be able to like prismatic end this because they already used a prismatic ending and they have to get another mana source and also have, and not on color, probably Triome or something somewhere to get. So we'll see if they have that. And opponent concedes. Sweet. Easy peasy. Maybe I played that a little bit too conservatively, but I think it was fine. I mean, we won anyway, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 2 with Oops All spells. We lost the die roll this time. We have 3 mana sources, none of them are black. We do have combo pieces, but other than that, this hand kind of stinks, so I'm going to mulligan. Let's see. Land. Undercity Informer, ramp piece, Narcomoeba to the bottom. This seems like the dream. We will keep, put Narcomoeba on the bottom. So we no longer have the concern of drawing both of those. Opponent plays Inspiring Vantage. Looks like we're playing against Burn. Pretty sure that's the only deck that ever opens up with these 2 cards. Let's play our tap land, pass the turn. So we get to win on turn 3, assuming our opponent doesn't win on turn 3. We have to bolt ourselves once and play Pentad Prism. That doesn't seem like the worst. Opponent plays Swift Spear. Double Swift Spear, no burn spell that turn though. Double Swift Spear is definitely a burn hand that can win on turn 3. Let's play Turn Timber Symbiosis. Play Pentad Prism. We drew Balustrade Spy, so now if they play Eidolon, we don't have to shock ourselves to play Undercity Informer. Pass the turn. Alright, we're at 14. You have 2 points of damage right now, so we're at effectively 12. Can you do it? Do you have triple bolt? Opponent plays Boros Charm. We go to 6. Our opponent did not kill us, which is always nice. Alright. So we win the game. Balustrade Spy, target us. Okay. Narcomoebas and Creeping Chills. We didn't draw any of our combo pieces, so we get to go the full 9 yards with everything. Creeping Chill our opponent down to 7. Get back Narcomoeba, get back swords. Sword. Narcomoeba, yes. Now we need to get Salvage Titan, exiling Sphere of Suns, Talisman of Hierarchy, Pentad Prism. Cast Salvage Titan, sacrificing Sword, Pentad Prism. Gets back all our Vengevines. Yup. Okay. Cool. And against Burn, we just get to bring in a bunch of ley lines and erase them. So that's nice. Once upon a time, I feel like Burn had sideboard rest in pieces, but I haven't seen them in forever, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's cut Shatterskull, Jack-o'-lantern, Creeping Chill, Hagra Mauling. If they randomly have Graveyard Hate, we have Belchers that we can draw into. Other than that, I think this is fine. It feels a little silly to be siding out the Creeping Chills against Burn, but usually it doesn't matter that much. I've enjoyed Hagra Mauling in this list. It's pretty popular to be playing Palaka Predation in the slot over this, since it can let you take a peek at your opponent's hand and get rid of a counterspell or something like that. The main reason I like Hagra Mauling better is because we just take beatings to Ragavan all the time, and if Ragavan hit Palaka Predation, I would be very, very sad. Where Hagra Mauling doesn't do anything against us. And then on top of that, Hagra Mauling's randomly good at like getting rid of a Dothi Voidwalker or getting rid of like some creature that's about to kill us in Hammer Time or Yawgmoth or something like that. Alright, we have a win condition, we have 3 lands, we don't have any ramp, we don't have Leyline, and we don't have... and we did draw our Phantasmagorian, so I'm going to mulligan this. Alright. 3 lands, Leyline, Undercity Informers. That seems fine. Let's keep, get rid of Sword the Meek. Done. Put Leyline in play. Okay. So we want another mana source. Other than that, our hand is... well, there's our mana source. Okay. Play Blood Pit. See if our opponent plays a Rest in Peace. If so, I'll cry a little bit. Okay. We draw a Talisman. Let's play Amiria's Call. Play Pinthead Prism. We're threatening a turn 3 win again. What you got, opponent? They could delay us by blowing up our Pinthead Prism. I'm going to take my passing the turn off since they fetched at that point. Okay. If they blew up Pinthead Prism during my main phase, I was just going to play Talisman of Hierarchy. Alright. It looks like we caught our opponent with the all burn hand. So we just get to get a squeaky clean win, hopefully here. Play Undercity Informer. What you got, opponent? I'm gonna bolt in Seagate Restoration instead of using the other Pinthead Prism mana. Because if they have a way to protect themselves from dying, I want to be able to use Pinthead Prism for green and do the fastest Oracle win. Because they could just bolt a bunch of Vengevines here and stay alive for a turn, perhaps. Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill. Narcomoeba. Narcomoeba. Sword, sword, sword. They're going to bolt Narcomoeba. Sword of the Meek still get to come back. Okay. Yeah, they bolt Narcomoeba. They might have just lost themselves the game on this turn because of that. Because Sword of the Meek doesn't care. Salvage Titan, get rid of Talisman. Belcher, Talisman. Cast Salvage Titan, exile, or sacrifice these rather. Get back Vengevines. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Go to combat. So they need to double bolt to not die right here. And then if they do have double bolt, we can spend a green, cast Memory's Journey, make the only card in our deck Fastest Oracle, and then win either with that or with combat damage next turn. Opponent has a Lightning Helix. Well, you're still dead. Hooray, Xaxes. Alright. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 3 with Oops All Spells. We won the die roll. We have a win condition. We have 3 lands, no black mana, no ramp. Let's mulligan. No win condition. We do have ramp, but no win con means mulligan. Alright. So Pinthead Prism, Hagra Mauling, Seagate Restoration, Undercity Informer, and we'll keep Amiria's Call. Keep this, get rid of Creeping Chill, Shatter Skull Smashing. Done. Alright, so we should be able to win on turn 3. Barring interaction, of course. Let's see what our opponent's doing. They didn't mulligan at all. Urza's Saga. And go. Probably Amulet. Play Seagate Restoration. Bolt ourselves, play Pentat Prism. Go. Forest still looks like Amulet. Explorer, definitely Amulet. Castle Garenbrig. Yep. Yep. Alright, let's take stops off. We drew Vengevine. So we need to play Undercity Informer without playing a land, is what that means. Because we need to be able to discard these 3 to Phantasmagorian. Alright, and I doubt they're able to interact at all. They could randomly have main deck Endurance or something like that, I guess. But let's go for it. No reason not to. Narcomoebas and Creeping Chills. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Free Sword of the Meeks. I will take them all, please. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Alright, Phantasmagorian, where are you? Right here. Discard, discard, discard. I could have actually played a land if I had gone pick up Salvage Titan, discard it to Phantasmagorian, pick up Salvage Titan again. So maybe how I played that wasn't necessarily optimal. But I don't think it matters that much. Cast Salvage Titan for free. This deck feels so much like playing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It's ridiculous. Vengevine, yes. Okay. Vengevine, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Opponent concedes. Pretty happy about that. So against Amulet, we bring in Prismatic Ends. And I like bringing in a couple silences against them too, because they do bring in Endurance, and also, I haven't had this happen yet, but I'd really like to, if they're going for like a combo turn, cast Silence in response to them casting a Summoner's Pact, and then maybe just make them die to the Pact. Getting your Amulet opponent to die to Summoner's Pact is like the secret actual way that you want to win the game, I think. Alright. Do I just go down Belcher's? Yeah, I think I do. They're going to bring in Artifact Destruction for the ramp pieces, so Belcher's not really good to rely on against them. I don't want to bring out any more lands than just 2. I think that's pretty much the normal amount that is okay to side out with this deck. Lands in quotations, of course, but the MDFCs. And I don't really want to take out too many Creeping Chills because they might actually have blockers, and I want to be able to kill them with combat damage if I have the option. They're going to bring in some amount of relics that they can get with their Urza Sagas, and they're going to bring in Bajuka Bog, because I think that's a sideboard card instead of a main deck card for them. I'm pretty sure, at least. And they're going to bring in Endurance and probably Force of Vigor. So they do have some decent amount of interaction for us. But we just got to try to get there. Fast as possible. And maybe get them with a Silence if I have the option. because that'd be sweet. Alright, so we have lands, we don't have any win cons, so we're going to mulligan, and we have 3 cards that we don't really want to draw in our hand. Land, it's a pretty good hand. What do I not want is the question. I definitely want Balustrade Spy, I definitely want both the lands. I probably want Pentad Prism instead of Talisman. Do I want Prismatic Ending and Silence? Or is that excessive? Definitely keeping. Do I want Talisman of Hierarchy, Silence, or Prismatic End on the bottom? The white cards are best if we don't have to get rid of our Talisman of Hierarchy, but Pentad Prism lets us go for the win as quickly as possible. These both could be useful. I think I gotta get rid of Talisman. Hopefully we draw an Emeria. That would be ideal, I think. Or another white source. Opponent plays turn 1 Amulet, that's fine. We draw Sword of the Meek, not very exciting. Let's play Seagate Reborn. No, pass the turn. Let's see what terrible things our opponent can do to us, if anything. Nothing this turn, okay. We draw Emeria's Call. Alright. Let's play that. Let's play Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. Opponent does not force. There's a decent chance he's going to go for the win here. He's going to sacrifice Urza's Saga, probably get another Amulet if he has cards to try to win the game. He's going to get another Amulet. If not, he's going to go for a Relic. He goes for a Relic. Okay, so he probably can't win here. Interesting. We draw Memory's Journey. So I think I want to Prismatic End the Relic. Because I think I need to cast Silence this turn too in case he has an Endurance. Or cast Silence the turn that I'm going to go off, rather. So I think I just go Prismatic End on Relic here. And I think I just play Agadeems and pass. Probably. Okay. This backfires if he plays another Relic, but if he plays another Relic, he would have had double Relic anyway, and that's already kind of difficult to deal with. So it's not going to make that big of a difference. Opponent taps a mana. Plays an Amulet. Plays a Bog. We lose our Prismatic Ending. How sad. He's going to get to untap it twice. Okay. They might play Dryad or Azusa here. They play Dryad. Okay. Is that it? That looks like it's it. Alright. So time to go for the win. Cast Silence. Get fucked, Endurance is in your hand. Opponent can block 1. We haven't drawn any of the Creeping Chills, so we're going to Creeping Chill them down to 11, and then be attacking for 16, 12 if it gets through with Vengevines, so we should just be clean here. Alright. Play Count Chocula. Count Chocula is going to bonk me in the head. So we drew our Sword of the Meek and a Vengevine here, so I'm going to go ahead and do the Phantasmagorian thing once I put these on the stack, so I don't forget about it. Phantasmagorian, discard, discard, discard. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Swords. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Narcomoeba. Okay. And yes. Get back Salvage Titan. Get rid of you. 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 Did I click on everything? Okay, it looks like my opponent's conceding. Yeah, opponent concedes. Sweet. I can't tell you how satisfying it is to be playing a deck that can just race and win against Amulet really consistently, because I've just been like terrorized by this deck while I'm playing Affinity for the most part. So it's very satisfying. Still haven't got the Silence win on them yet. I will one day. But yeah, very fun. See you in the next one. Alright, round 4 with Oops All Spells. We won the die roll. We have... this hand is so close to being good. It has double tapped land instead of any ramp. It does have Balustrade Spy. If I draw... I have to draw at least one MDFC to be able to go off with this hand. But it has double tapped land. We don't have any Narcomoebas or Creeping Chills in our hand yet, so that's good. I think I'm going to go for it. There's a decent chance that we can draw MDFC off the top. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. Okay. So probably either Tron or Dredge if they're mulliganing very aggressively. Let's see. Neither. Opponent plays a tapped Castle Vantress and passes. Come on, let's see what we draw. Belcher, not what we wanted. Alright. Play Jack-o'-lantern. Play another land. Pass the turn. Depending on if I draw a land here, I might just be popping Jack-o'-lantern now. Opponent plays a land, we draw Creeping Chill. Let's play Talisman, see if it resolves. It does. Let's not target anything and draw a card. We draw a land. Alright, pass the turn. So pretty sure our opponent's going to have counter spells. We have 3 win conditions in our hand. They Prismatic End our mana source, so if we draw another here... Alright. So luckily we don't actually need to cast and resolve any non-creature spells to win, so we don't get forced out of the game. And our opponent solituding like one thing isn't going to matter either. Damn it. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. There's a lot of there's a lot of clicking okay and yes when piloting this deck. Okay. Yes. It might be the thing that you do the most often, honestly, at least if you're winning. Get back Salvage Titan, exile, 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 cast Salvage Titan, sack, 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 Vengevines, okay, yes, okay, yes, okay, yes. And opponent concedes. Alright, so some kind of blue-white deck, probably blue-white control, just with a terrible hand on that occasion. So let's bring in Silences, probably Prismatic Ends, because they're probably going to have Rest in Peace, I assume. Belcher gets to stay in. We're going to cut you, cut you, cut you, cut you. Some amount of Prismatic Endings. Probably cut one Spy for one more Prismatic End. I think that's right. I'll try it like that. So we have the Belchers that can get around random Rest in Peace effects. Although actually, maybe I should just bring in a Belcher instead of one of these Prismatic Endings. We'll see. Maybe we can just keep running hot for the rest of this league. Alright, so we have Silence, we have MDFCs, and we have Ramp, but we don't have a win con, so let's mulligan. We have Ramp and 2 win conditions. I'll keep it. Let's get rid of the Creeping Chill, keep Vengevine in hand. I guess we can cast it if we really need to. Opponent plays Mystic Gate, Relic of Progenitus, okay. We draw a Turn Timber Symbiosis. Let's play one of those tapped, pass the turn. So it looks like we're going for a Belcher win here. There's a decent chance that if we can get it to resolve, they can't actually deal with it, and they probably took their forces out. Opponent plays Search for Ass Cancer. We draw Phantasmagorian, that sucks. Let's play Agademe. Not playing you. Play Pentad Prism. There's a decent chance they can Prismatic End this away, but we gotta go for it either way. Opponent's playing Condemn still. Maybe they just couldn't side out enough things. We draw Memory's Journey. Interesting. So do I go for Belcher or Undercity Informer? I wonder. Because Undercity Informer, if they don't counter it, I can just get it into play and try to pop off with it later if they ever tap out of the relic. So I think I'm going to do that. Since Belchers are cleanest way to win here, I don't really want to go straight for it when they probably have counterspells. Opponent has Supreme Verdict in their graveyard. Okay. We draw Pentad Prism. Interesting. Let's attack for 2. Cast a Pentad Prism. So we could be up to 7 mana next turn, which is enough to Belcher and activate it. So if our opponent taps out randomly, okay, we draw Fass's Oracle. So now what? I can go Belcher, they can counter it. I have 3 mana, I can activate Undercity Informer and play Thassa's Oracle?
That doesn't seem bad. Do I go to combat first and try to draw interaction out of their hand, or do I go straight for it? Because I can go Undercity Informer, sacrifice itself. They have a relic, so there's no way I'm getting back Vengevines. Huh. They have 5 mana, so I could attack in with Undercity Informer, and there's a decent chance that they're gonna go. There's a decent chance that they're gonna go straight for a Solitude. But then I don't have the option to do the Undercity Informer Thassa's Oracle thing anymore. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. They've been putting cards in their graveyard with Thassa's Oracle, and they've been hitting land drops. And they kept in removal. And we don't care about the removal. They have to have double counterspell. Fuck it. We're not here to sit around. Belcher. Dovin's Veto. So they still have 3 mana. I don't like that they still have 3 mana. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Here's what we can do. I can go Oracle, and if it resolves, deck myself. I think that's the right thing to do here. Alright, I think we got it. Because I don't think they can stop that trigger on the stack. Inverter win? Yeah, we get a bunch of triggers we have to click through. Okay. Opponent pops Relic. Okay. And Oracle trigger resolves? Unless you randomly have a way to counter a trigger. Yay! Alright, sweet. I'll see you in the next one. Round 5 with Oops All Spells. We lost the die roll and we're playing against a Yorion deck. We have Ramp and a possible Belcher as our win con here. We drew Phantasmagorian, which isn't great. Opponent's mulliganing. I don't like that against Yorion decks, Belcher is vulnerable to removal. But we're just a good top deck away from having a turn 3 win with Balustrade Spy or Undercity Informer, so that's 8 cards in our deck, and we have 3 draws at it for turn 3. So let's keep. I'm going to try to play this as well as possible because we are 4-0, 8-0 so far. We've been doing incredibly well with this deck. Pentad Prism. More ramp, not necessarily what we want. Although it means that we could possibly go Belcher and activate it all in one turn. Play a land, pass the turn. Because that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana sources. Interesting. Opponent gets a Rogran Triome. Makes sense. Plays a Flooded Strand, passes. We draw. Maria's Call. Okay. Let's play Seagate Reborn, Bolted In. Play Talisman. They probably have interaction for this. They're probably either going to counter it or Prismatic End it. We'll see what happens. We got more mana sources where that came from, so it's not the end of the world. Opponent does not do anything to it. Okay. Gets a breeding pool, plays a Codal, or Coatl, or however you're supposed to say that. How are you supposed to say that? Icefang Codal or Icefang Coatl? Coatl, I guess, makes more sense since it has the A. So if we draw a Balustrade Spy effect here, we can go for the win immediately. There's a decent chance they're playing Endurances, but they're playing 80 cards, so what are the odds they have exactly the thing they need in their Yorion deck? And if not, we can just go land, Mana Rock, Pentad Prism, which also doesn't seem bad. Backup plan, I guess, we hardcast Phantasmagorian. And then our opponent has the option to discard 3 cards to counter it because this card is so freaking weird. As weird as Phantasmagorian is, it's really cool to play a deck with it. I hadn't done that before, and also the art is just very, very cool. Alright, opponents in the tank. Probably thinking about whether they need to leave up a counterspell or Prismatic End Talisman of Hierarchy, I feel like. If I had to guess. Looks like they might just play Teferi Bounce it, though. That's exactly what they do. Okay. We draw Sword of the Meek, not very useful. Let's play Talisman. Let's play Shatter Skull as a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's play Pentad Prism. We're at 12. Our opponent has a Teferi. It's already down ticked. They have 6 cards in hand. Hopefully they'll be greedy and just do something to progress their board instead of interrupting us. That would be nice. Looks like a prismatic ending happening. Opponent plays a land. Opponent plays Abundant Growth on the land. Getting some more information first. Put Yorion into your hand and pass. Please. Prismatic End. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing to do with the mana, so we might as well not float it. We go to 11. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. We draw an Narcomoeba. 4, 5. Five, 6. Do I just go Belch or go? And trust that they don't have another prismatic ending? I wonder. It's unlikely that they counter something here since they only have the 1 mana. So I think I do that. Let's play Talisman of Hierarchy. Play Belcher. No counters, no prismatic ends. No counters, no prismatic ends. No counters, no prismatic ends. No counter. No prismatic end. They ephemerate to draw a card. They ephemerate again to draw another card. So they have a lot of cards in hand, but do they have another prismatic ending? They're probably playing 4, but they only have 3 somewhere in their deck. 2. Expressive Iteration. Looks like they don't have it. Looks like they don't have it. Come on, don't have it. Lightning Bolt, that's not an answer for Belcher. Bonk? Hooray! Alright. So what are they going to have in the next game? They're going to have counterspells, they're going to have endurance. So we want silence, and we want prismatic endings probably. How many prismatic endings do we want though? How scared are we of them having Rest in Peace or something? Do we just not care? Do they even play Rest in Peace in this deck? Do I just go for Pact of Negations? Maybe I just go for Pact of Negations. Leyline also randomly stops Endurance, but I think Pact of Negation is better against it because it also stops counterspells other than Dovin's Veto. I don't think they play Rest in Peace. Let's cut a Smashing, let's cut a Jack-o'-lantern. Let's cut a Creeping Chill. I think I want 2 Pact of Negations. Cut a Hagra Mauling. Let's do it like that. I think realistically that's fine. Belcher still, as always, gives us a way around Graveyard Hate if they do have Rest in Peace. It's possible I should be bringing in more pacts, but it would get rid of a lot of combo pieces, so I'm not sure. Although I guess Dovin's Veto doesn't hit our Undercity Informer and Balustrade Spy effects, so maybe it's fine. We'll see. Come on, one more win. Clean 10-0. Come on. They're definitely going to bring in more artifact hate, probably forces. Again, they are an 80 card deck, so it's not necessarily... We don't necessarily have to be too afraid of their sideboard. We have a bunch of lands and a spy. I kind of want to keep this. It wins on turn 4. It wins on turn 4, and it has the mana and the colors to wait till turn 5 and play Silence first, so I think I want to keep this. Them getting Beseiju Renin 6 would be devastating against us because of our greedy-ass mana base. Talisman of Hierarchy, okay. Let's play Turn Timber, say go. So next turn we can play Talisman, and if it stays alive we can go for Balustrade Spy on turn 3. We draw Narcomoeba, didn't want to see that. Play Agadim. Play Talisman. Pass. They probably have a way to get rid of the Talisman here. They have a Coatl to draw a card at end of turn. They have an Expressive Iteration. Is that all? If they don't have exactly Endurance on our turn, I think we win. Because Balustrade Spy doesn't get hit by a Force of Negation. Opponent plays Misty, cracks it. Plays Abundant Growth, draws a card. They have 7 cards in hand. There's 63 cards still in their deck that could have Endurance in it. I mean, they tapped out. I think I have to go for it, right? Like, I gotta. Count Chocula? Please? Alright, so it resolved. No endurance, no endurance, no endurance, no endurance. Come on, no endurance. Creeping Chill. Yes! No endurance! Did we get there? I think we got there. If they had endurance or any other interaction, they would have used it already. Okay, yes. And they're at 6, so just having Solitudes isn't enough. Alright, so we don't have any Vengevines in our hand. I don't want to get too excited and mess it up, so exile, exile, exile. Get back Salvage Titan. Sack, sack, sack. Vengevines? Yes? Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Attack for 16? Did we get there? Oh my god, we got there. 5-0-10-0, baby. First one of the fucking channel. Oh my god. 5-0-10-0. Oops, all spells, you're so broken. Alright. Let's open up these. So yeah, like, I'm very satisfied with it. This deck has been super fun to play. Like you saw, the matches are really fast, so it's really good for grinding. And the meta is just not prepared for it right now. Like, people are not playing Rest in Peace very often. Alright, we got a Black March and some power, some play points or whatever. Alright, bunch of crap and 5 play points. Alright. Bunch of crap and play points. Come on, something good. Traxos. I remember that card being pretty hyped when it was first spoiled, and then it just didn't do anything. Dragon Shift. Forget what Dragon Shift does. Target creature you control becomes a dragon with base power and toughness 4/4 and gains flying and overload. That's kind of funny. Open a chest. Bunch of crap. Open a chest. Bunch of crap. Come on, good chest. One good chest, please. I mean, the play points I'm pretty happy about anyway. Just more free leagues. Always nice to see, but out of time. Okay. 2 chests left. Come on. Come on, good chests. Alright. Play points. Random BFC rare. Alright, last chest. Come on. Haunted Ridge and Elvish Piper. How much is Haunted Ridge promo? Probably not that much. Let's look it up. Haunted Ridge promo. Where's my phone? Oh, whatever. Anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tez's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you.